Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to introduce myself. I am Dr. A. Sita Devi, Professor and Head, Department of Pharmaceutics. On behalf of Hindu College of Pharmacy, as the convener of today's program, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to this international webinar on artificial intelligence, pharmaceutical applications, current challenges, and future directions, organized by Department of Pharmaceutics in association with Hindu College of Pharmacy Alumni Association. Let us start the session with our traditional light lampening ceremony and a prayer song.
Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada shatru buddhi vinashaya deepajyotir namostute deepajyotir namostute shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada shubham
Hindu College of Pharmacy, established in the year 1999, has been imparting quality education to the students to face the real world challenges for the past 21 years. Our esteemed institution stands for its excellence, and there are many people who put their tremendous efforts to bring glory to our institution. They are our management, Sri Jupudi Rangaraj Garu, Chairman, Dr. S. Masudan Rao Garu, Secretary and Correspondent, Dr. Mannava Radhakrishnamurthy Garu, Founder Secretary, later Chairman and present Honorary Chairman. In view of emerging situation related to COVID-19 pandemic, it is important to safeguard the principles of health and safety of pharma fraternity. At the same time, it is very crucial to ensure academic credibility, career opportunities, and future progress of all. In this connection, we, Hindu College of Pharmacy, can proudly say that we are successfully conducting enrichment programs such as series of webinars and faculty development programs from June. As a part of this, we, Department of Pharmaceutics, which is the first PG department, in association with Hindu College of Pharmacy Alumni Association, take this an honor in conducting this international webinar on artificial intelligence, pharmaceutical applications, current challenges, and future directions. I feel happy to announce that more than 1100 participants have registered across the globe. There are doctors, professors, associate professors, assistant professors, and students from India, United States of America, Malaysia, Singapore, and many other countries. It's overwhelming to receive this huge response from you all. I would like to welcome all the participants who have shown great enthusiasm participating in this webinar. I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to the speaker of today's webinar, a man with great enthusiasm and talent and exuberant personality, Mr. Suresh Jan Kandavalli, Analytical Document Scientist, Cambrex Corporation, Charles City, USA. We proudly say that Mr. Suresh Jan is our alumni. Happy to share that many of our alumni are occupying senior and commanding positions in industries, service sectors, individual consultancies, or have made strong footprints as proven entrepreneurs. The objective of selecting this topic today is, by considering the growing importance of artificial intelligence for the pharma industry, we wanted to create a comprehensive platform which helps every pharma fraternity understand the biggest breakthroughs in the pharma and biotech space, which are assisted by the deployment of artificial intelligence technologies. Artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their actions. The purpose of artificial intelligence is to make computers more useful in solving problematic healthcare challenges, and by using computers, we can interpret data which is obtained by diagnosis of various chronic diseases. Artificial intelligence can also be useful for improvement in diagnosis process, advancement in clinical research, innovation in drug discovery, betterment in patient care, revolution in pharmaceutical R&D, better accuracy in epidemic prediction, etc. Artificial intelligence has a positive impact on the entire pharmaceutical industry. Many pharma companies throughout the world have already started leveraging AI in their business. Artificial intelligence and pharma can help save more lives than ever before. The way industries are adopting AI and machine learning will eventually drive remarkable growth in the coming years. Research says that the artificial intelligence market will reach nearly $90 billion in annual worldwide revenue by 2025. AI can be amazingly useful in managing data and presenting results that promote better decision making and help saving human efforts, cost, and time. In the pharmaceutical industry, the application of machine learning has made the clinical and healthcare process more efficient and seamless. Today, our resource person, Mr. Suresh Jan, will explain in detail about various applications of AI, current challenges, and future directions. Before we start our session, I request our Honorable Chairman, a renowned advocate, able administrator, the sculptor of human character, navigator of this flagship, social activist, Sri Jupudi Rangaraj Garu, to give his benedictions. Over to you, sir.
Namaste. I am very thankful for the department for giving me an opportunity. Before I make my impressions, I just want to pray Lord Hayagriva, who is the architect of the entire intelligence. There's a reason why Jnananandam Mayam Devam Nirmala Spatika Krutim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagriva Upasmahe. Hayagriva Sarva Vidyalahu నిలవేరేట హైగ్రీవుడికి నమస్కారం చేసుకుంటే ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ అనేటువంటిది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా వస్తుంది. I just, if we pray Lord Hayagriva, who is the cause of intelligence, the artificial intelligence automatically revolves upon our intelligence. In this connection, I would put forth that the present trend of the entire universe is in respect of artificial intelligence, and especially without there being a human intelligence, the question of artificial intelligence does not arise at all. And as far as the present situation of COVID-19 is concerned, this has thrown a challenge to artificial intelligence, because to find out a virus which is airborne or which is not known is hitting the entire human and mankind. So the artificial intelligence comes into play in respect of finding out how to put this COVID-19 away from the human society, human world. So in this connection, our Hindu College of Pharmacy has said earlier by Sita Devi that our pharmacy college is doing its service to the education field, trying to develop in all fields of the education and as well as imparting new ideas for the future generations. We have started a webinar programs from the month of June. It was only Sunita, one of the analysis professor, who has taken the initiative, and our secretary correspondent, Dr. Madhusudan Rao Garu, has thrown it, and we took as a not a challenge, we took it as an opportunity, turned it to our students to be a good educative value. In this connection, our Hindu College of Pharmacy, which has got the strength of more than 4 doctors in our board of directors, and who are none other than Mr. M. Radhakrishna Garu, who is IPC Pharmacy Council of India member, and Dr. Madhusudan Rao, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar, our vice chairman, and Dr. R. Ramakrishna, who is a good chest physician. We have got such a talented persons to guide the entire students of our Hindu college. So I am very happy to know that Sita Devi has taken a good initiative. And further, I am very happy that our alumni, we can proudly say that our college has given number of productive students, productive citizens to the entire world, who are not only the good education, but also putting our Hindu pharmacy flag above everything. In this connection, I really appreciate Sita Devi for doing this survey, in doing this good artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical applications. Because artificial intelligence nowadays is very much patent. Because Mr. Suresh, who is in the USA, he is coming with a webinar from there, which shows that the air itself is creating the situation of artificial intelligence. So from air, we are going to see that how Mr. Suresh is going to put his approach, and all the world, that is that from USA, Malaysia, and other countries. So it means that artificial intelligence has taken the field not only with the human intelligence, but also with medicine. So artificial intelligence also creates a sort of atmosphere where the medicine can also be from, because I remember one situation. It is one which is called as yoga therapy. A person sits somewhere and does this prayer, and you get cured here. So this type of intelligence which imparts even the energy to the other persons, the artificial intelligence, in my view, the article taken for putting forth for this webinar, artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical application is appropriate, and I welcome all the persons, and I request the participants to open our website, go through what is the situation of our college, and bless our college by giving their good wishes. And we feel that we are doing a little bit service to the human society, because it's not one and all, it's not end at all. Thank you very much. I wish that this program will go a long way in the annals of putting forth artificial intelligence and the applications for the present industry. Thank you very much. Namaste. Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our founder secretary, later chairman, present honorary chairman, moreover renowned diabetologist, retired professor of Guntur Medical College and present PCI member, Dr. Mano Radhakrishnamurthy Garu, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir. Sridhar, please unmute, sir.
Unmuted, madam. Sir, hello. Hello, sir. Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Sir, you are not audible. Sir, you are not audible, sir. Sir. Sir, please continue, sir. Sir, you are not audible, sir. Sir, you are not audible. Downloads. Not audible, sir. Yeah, we move on to principal, sir. Later, sir will, MRK sir will talk. I request our young, dynamic and captivating principal and head department of pharmaceutical chemistry, Dr. R. Govindarajan Garu, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, one and all. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwaraha, Guru Sasta, Parabrahma, Takshme, Shri Guruve Namaha. On these occasions of the Guru Nam, we are fortunately enough, we have the with alumni associations in this webinar. On behalf of management, Sri Jub Rangaraj Garu, Chairman of this college, and Secretary and Correspondent Dr. Masundrav Garu, and Honorary Chairman Manav Radhakrishnan Garu, and all the former fraternity and the students of this college, a warm welcome, one and all, and a pleasant morning. So this webinar will be organized by the Department of Pharmaceutics in association with the Hindu College of Pharmacy Alumni Associations. This is one of the auspicious day. We feeling that this alumni is one of the strong body in every college. Here also, our alumni association will be very strong. I wish to for alumni associations to make it more strong in future also. I congratulate Dr. M. Ramaya initiate for the alumni associations to make it to bring forward to the success. Today the topic is wonderful topics because in artificial intelligence. What is future aspects? So artificial intelligence and machine learning, the important core area for the future generation of the people who want to learn any sectors, because nowadays the industry and the academia gap, only the artificial intelligence are lagging. Our students request that this technique you must to learn, not only the pharma books what you are learning, but you also learn about the other computer program also, because all the computer program to give the artificial learning techniques tools will be make it to your future, we get to success. So in these junctions, I really congratulate Dr. Sita Devi Garu, HOD in pharmaceutics, as a convener of today's webinar, to make it initiate with the webinar with alumni associations. I want to wish our respected alumni, Suresh John. He is one of the pioneer in the field of artificial intelligence. He is giving the wonderful topics on particular today what and where when we have to use for the artificial intelligence in different area, because if you now without that AI and ML, they're not having any kind of the accuracy. The precisions will be very much important for the AI and ML. So nowadays, the predominantly using this technique. Please follow the our session speaker, and you enlighten your knowledge to make it your future endeavor for your success of your career. So I wish to congratulate all the teams of pharmaceutics and Dr. Ramaya teams for to make it the webinar success. Thank you one and all for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Now
you.
I request courageous and charming Vice Principal and Head Department of Pharmaceutical Analysis, Dr. A. Sunita, to address the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
A blissful morning to one and all. A genial welcome to all the delegates, faculty, and students for today's international webinar. I extend my warm welcome to today's speaker, Mr. Suresh John. We feel proud to share that he is an alumnus of Hindu College of Pharmacy. It's overwhelming for the entire HCOP team to see you as a speaker in today's webinar. This is a good example to say that the product of Hindu College of Pharmacy will come out with flying colors. In the current scenario, artificial intelligence plays a predominant role in each and every sector. We are not much aware of this, but the basic knowledge that I have on AI is an amazing technology which behaves like a human brain with intelligence in machines. The impact of artificial intelligence in the pharmaceutical industry is undeniable. Many pharma companies throughout the world have already started leveraging on artificial intelligence in their business. It has a promising future ahead. I hope this session will be quite interesting as we are going to know about a new topic which has created a demand in pharmaceutical area. I appreciate the convener of this program, Dr. A. Sita Devi, Head Department of Pharmaceutics, co-convener Dr. M. Ramaya, Secretary of Alumni Association, Hindu College of Pharmacy, and the team of Pharmaceutics Department for conducting such an informative session. Thank you, one and all. My special welcome to Suresh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Over to Dr. Sita.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now I request Dr. M. Ramaya, Secretary, Hindu College of Pharmacy, Alumni Association Head, Alumni Association Secretary and Head Department of Pharmacognosy to introduce the speaker.
Yeah, great. Thank you, madam. A pleasant morning to all of you. Honorable Chairman of Hindu College of Pharmacy, Sri Jupudi Rangaraju Garu, Honorable Secretary and Correspondent, Dr. S. Madhusudan Rao Garu, Principal, Vice Principal, OSD, my colleagues and invited faculty members and students of various colleges across India and abroad, Hindu College of Pharmacy welcomes you all. Myself, Dr. Ramaya Maddi, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacognosy and Founder Secretary, Hindu College of Pharmacy Alumni Association. any institution's alumni are key to its growth. An institution is a partnership among students, alumni, faculty, administrators, donors, trustees, neighborhoods, and more to build a community and a culture. In this category, today we fortunate enough to have the gracious presence of K. Suresh John, who is alumnus of Hindu College of Pharmacy 2002-2006 batch as today's speaker on the topic Artificial Intelligence, Pharmaceutical Applications, Current Challenges and Future Directions. We once again welcome you, sir, for sharing a global experience to our students and participants. This is my privilege to introduce Kandavalli Suresh John to all of you, who is presently working as an analytical document scientist at Cambrex Corporation, Charles City, United States of America. Sir is graduated with B.Pharm from Hindu College of Pharmacy, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, and M Pharmacy in Pharmaceutics from Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, Bhimavaram. Mr. Suresh John is highly experienced quality personnel with a demonstrated history of more than 12 years of working in the good manufacturing practices of pharmaceutical industry. Sir is specialized at strong working knowledge of FDA, MHRA, the Brazilian Health Regulatory Agency, PICS, PDA, ISO, ICH, and DEA. He is very technical at 21 CFR, that is the Code of Federal Regulations, Part 210, 211, 600 to 680, 820, Part 4 and Part 11. He is very well versed with ISO 13485, ISO 14971, GLP, deviation management, CAPA, corrective and preventive actions, compliance, and technical writing. He is also specialized at aseptic processing, terminal sterilization, and risk management. During his career, Sir worked at various MNCs like Hospira, KVK Tech, located at Newtons, Pennsylvania, United States of America. Also worked at RX Laboratories, located at Hightstown, New Jersey, United States. At present, Sir is working as a analytical document scientist at Cambrex Corporation, located at Charles City, Iowa, United States of America. The Cambrex Corporation is a contract development manufacturing organization that provides drug substance, drug product, and analytical services across the entire drug life cycle, as well as active pharmaceutical ingredients. Cambrex has CGMP manufacturing facilities in the United States, Canada, and Europe. The vast experience and knowledge of the speaker hope the participants will definitely enrich their knowledge. I thank to the management of Hindu College of Pharmacy, principal and convener of today's webinar for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to introduce K. Suresh John to all of you. I would like to thank you all for the patience, patronage, and the time. And thank you, sir. Thank you, madam, and welcome, sir.
Thank
Over
you,
to
sir.
Suresh John.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We are very eager to listen from you, Mr. Suresh John. Please start the session.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the great introduction, Mr. Dr. Ramaya. And thank you, Sikada ma'am. And thank you, Sunita ma'am. And thanks for the management, the Hindu College management, and to the principal and all. So here I'd like to share my screen.
Yes, sir. Request you to please disable the participants annotation.
Yeah, I done that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yeah, so everyone can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So let me start. So welcome to the webinar conducted by Hindu College. So I'm so excited to talk to you today about artificial intelligence and its pharmaceutical applications, current challenges, and the future directions. Before we start the presentations, I think Ramay, everyone has given me the brief introduction about me. A few notes I just want to mention that if you guys have any doubt during this section, please note down the slide number which is on the left side. So finally, you can ask me at which slide you have the doubt so that I can explain you clearly. And then coming to the artificial intelligence, currently my company is not working on artificial intelligence, but eventually we're gonna work. So I was like so interested on that. That's why I am also learned this all the topic from the internet and from the research articles and everything. So I'm also like not too much knowledge on artificial intelligence, but this is a minimum fundamental information I can give it to you, so that based on this information, whatever the artificial intelligence, the applications you see, you can easily understand that. So let's move forward. So my agenda for today, in general overview, I'm going to explain you the definition of artificial intelligence, and in the common types, what are the current market we have, some common artificial intelligence around the world, and then fundamentals in artificial intelligence, like what are the segments we have, what are the elements we have in the artificial intelligence, and coming to its pharmaceutical applications. I'm going to give you some examples as well. I'm going to show some videos, and then what are its advantages and what are the current challenges we have and what are the future directions. There are some interesting topics. I'm trying to make it fast and as well as some interesting, because we have some videos to go through. So I don't want to drag you more time and then make it so bored. So let's go. So coming to the general overview. So the artificial intelligence, Madam has already mentioned that this is a simulation of human intelligence with the mission. Like, so whatever the humans, like how we think, how we act. So when we start from our college to our home, or else like from home to college, how do we route our college? Like if you take a bike or if you take a scooter or if you take a car and all. So we choose the short way. We just think like such a way that how we can easily go to the college, avoiding a traffic, or else how I can easily like go for a movie, avoiding a traffic, wasting of time. How do you think? So the artificial intelligence is being designed such a way that to make humans life simple, and then to solve many unsolved problems and to analyze so much of data which has been not given any proper solution till now. The reason why it's like everyone is saying it's like so hot topic, the reason because artificial intelligence in the pharmaceutical field or else like in the healthcare, we have so much of data. For example, we go to the hospitals, we go to the like any medicines, we take so many medicines, but these data, whatever like the records created by the hospitals and all, was not completely captured in any of the record, like any programmable record. The reason why I'm specifying is that like if you do in that way, there will be like so much of information. In another example, I can say that if you go to one hospital, if you're suffering from some disease, okay, if you go to one hospital, so and then in the hospital, the doctor will tell you that, oh, we want to do you this operation and you have to use these medicines and all. Still inside, you will feel that I want to take some second opinion. So why you want to take a second opinion? Because you completely cannot rely on one doctor. The reason because there is no much data provided by any of the patient with which, what are the activities, what are the symptoms, what are the medicines he used for these following diseases. So that is the reason providing of more programmable data will give a better healthy or like proper medicines to the patients. So the main goals of artificial intelligence is like it will learn from whatever you can teach the artificial intelligence. So for example, in coming to any of the learning, so I can give you the best example is like if you guys see the movie called Robo. So initially Rajinikanth built a robot, but it's completely a mission. It just follow the instructions. It is not smart enough to think like human. So whenever he tried to kill his own master, so what he do is like he will teach him clearly that humans, we have some feelings. Humans, we think smart. Humans, we perspirate some things. So we reasoning some things. We analyze some things. So he will explain with all the algorithmic systems and all. That is the reason like the robo will learn from the master and then he will start thinking like a human. So that is a basic example I want to give you because hope everyone has seen that movie. So moving forward, so it being used not only in like healthcare or like finance, what I stated here, but it's been used in gaming industries. It's been used in motor corporations, like we have self-driving cars and everything. Let's discuss in detail. So, and the continuation to the overview, what is an artificial intelligence in medicine? So, artificial intelligence is a computer science that use algorithms like machine learning, deep learning, and cognitive computing. So, I'm going to discuss detailedly about machine learning and deep learning, and then what are the definitions and what are the perceptions we have, what are the separate approaches we do for these learnings and all. But cognitive computing, I'm not going to discuss more, but I'm going to show you one example little bit because cognitive computing is again more into robotics. So that's again entire the big topic, which I don't want to like just give an introduction. So let's move forward. And then artificial intelligence is patterned like a brain neural networks, and it uses multiple layers of non-linear processing data. So we have so much of data. So it's gonna like process in such a way that how to streamline the data from various perception. In example, one patient is there. So one patient is suffering from diabetes, and he also has nausea, he also has cough, and he has an obesity, and his age is so and so. Okay, so we are giving one medicine to him. And there is another person, he has suffering from heart attack, or else like he's suffering from some other pulmonary diseases and all. And we give him for the same kind of medicine to him. But people looking for some kind of medicine which is personalized, like they need their own medicine. So how to identify that medicine for the particular patient? This one we can do only with artificial intelligence. So let's go forward. So what are the general common types we have in current market? So one we call as a traditional artificial intelligence. People call it as an like weak artificial intelligence also. So it is like only one particular job. I mean, like if you say one command, you just do only one command. The better example I want to give you for that is like you use your phone, iPhone. So it's called like Apple Siri. So if you ask something, it just pop up your result. Like what is the time now? What is the weather now? Or like, can you please play a song for me and all? So it's just like a voice command. So it's only one particular job. Or else like the Alexa we use for Amazon to play some movies or songs in your TV and all. That's also like artificial intelligence, but it's like it's a very weak artificial intelligence. So what are the advanced artificial intelligence? So advanced artificial intelligence is nothing but we use now operated hospitals. Like there will be no doctor inside an operation hospital. Only the artificial intelligence gonna operate completely with the help of robotics and everything. And then the other great thing is now we have self-driving cars. No need of any driver inside the car. The car gonna estimate your destination based on the best route, like no traffic route, and then based on your time, or else like based on the traffic, or else like the weather. It's gonna choose different paths, and then it's gonna measure the speed of the road, and then it's gonna travel accordingly. So these are all multi-complex functions. It's gonna make it linear and it's gonna drive. So I call that as an advanced AI. So let's go into the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. So machine learning and deep learning are the two things I want to specify here. So machine learning is nothing but it's a subset of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, where we do all these mathematics, like we use algorithms, we use probability, we use like linear regressions, or else like the algebra or statistics, anything. So the machine like learns from it. So when we call it a machine learning, it actually incorporates, it learns from the data. So you need to teach machine that so this is correct or this is wrong, this is huge, this is small, this is the limit we are looking for, and this is out of limit. So if you teach that, so based on the data, the machine gonna analyze the data, and based on that experience, it completely resolves or like provide the solution for our any kind of machine learning. And coming to the deep learning is nothing but it uses multiple neural networks. Like we have many neural networks. I'm going to discuss about that. So it uses like images, it uses audios, it uses videos, everything, and it's gonna analyze, and then it's gonna provide the results to us, like with the using of this application. So now continuation to the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, the machine learning we just discussed is study of computer algorithms that improve our like the experience, like it will improve our like everything. So in machine learning, we have three different approaches. So let's discuss about those approaches. So these are the famous approaches we generally use the majorly. So supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and reinforced machine learning. So now coming to the supervised machine learning. So supervised machine learning that is nothing but we already have a past data. We already have a known result. So we have the data and we know what we want to do. So this supervised mission will analyze that data and provide the output for us. So we can like say like so many examples on this. For example, we use Google Maps or else we use Apple Maps, right? So we know the what is the destination. So already there are some people who traveled in this road during this particular time or during this particular weather, and then it analyzes that the time to travel this is gonna be delayed 10 minutes, or else the future traffic is like more, so you're gonna like delay for so and so time. So this like all the like Google Maps or Apple Maps gonna do that. Coming to unsupervised machine learning. So in this, we doesn't have any past data, and then we don't know what's going to be the output also. So in this particular point of time, this unsupervised machine learning, what it will do, it has some clustering techniques. So this clustering techniques majorly, I mean, there are like many clustering techniques, but these are the major three we're going to use during this machine learning. One is k-means clustering, and other is hierarchical mean clustering, and third one is like dbScan clustering. So k-means clustering is like it identifies the size and shape of or else the data in anything, like it has that to be separated and to be grouped in particular sections. So it does that. Okay. Hierarchical mean of clustering is nothing but the name itself has that it groups the data where from ascending to descending, like small to large or else like big to small. It like clears the data in a pattern way. And the dbScan, it analyzes, like visualizes any image, and then it's gonna learn from it. And based on the image, it gonna resolve the solutions. Like the app, like the applications will analyze any image. Like I just show you an example. Like if we have like bunch of potatoes, like all are the same potatoes, but it has different kinds of color. So how an AI, like AI application can separate it, like it's gonna group it different based on the color. So generally the color is like k-means cluster and all. So now going to the reinforcement learning. So people call it as a semi-supervised machine learning as well. So in this, we have like partial structured data, and then we don't know what is the output. I mean, we might have like little output, but it's not complete. So what we gonna do that? For example, I can say you some examples in this. So when you play a video games, if you play a chess, or else like if you play any video games like in the car games or anything and all. So when you initially started playing it, you versus computer, I mean, so when you started playing it, so sometimes computer wins, sometimes you wins. So the what computer will do, learn from you when you play is like the move you made when in a chess, or else the play you play, it will record itself. And then whenever the next time the app will update, the machine learn will update, and from the next time it will make the move. So it becomes more intelligent based on you. It learns from you. So like the video games. So that's the best example I can give for this reinforcement machine learning. And now going to the next slide. So still the fundamentals. Now we go into the deep learning. So why we created this deep learning? So this deep learning is nothing but it's like to act like the mimic the human brain, to learn how the humans generally learn the things. So when we born, we never know anything like, right? So slowly we talk, we walk, and then we run, and then we teach, we like do everything, right? So the machine is also like start learning like that. So we will teach the machine, and then the machine adopts the teaching, and then it analyzes the data, and then it evaluates, and it will provide some good results to us. So in the deep learning, we use like multi-neural network architecture. So architecture is nothing but you design the probable way, the best way to get your output. For example, whatever the application you do, whatever the fundamental things you are doing, it analyzes the data, and then it provides multi architecture designs to provide your final output. For example, clinical trials. Let's take an example of clinical trials. So there will be like n number of patients. For example, from America, I'm like filing an clinical trials to for remdesivir. For example, currently we are manufacturing remdesivir for coronavirus medicine. So but we give that clinical trials to South Africa to get our like results quick, or else we give to China, or else we give to India. Okay, what happens is that the mechanism of the body, or else the metabolism of the body is different from race to race. Like Americans, like they eat some more non-vegetarians and all, or else like Africans eat like more vegetarians, or else Indians eat more vegetarian. But how are we gonna compare that? So there is a lot of barricades involved in that. So you design the artificial intelligence during the deep learning, that how it should like analyze like what is the optimum human body for a clinical trial. It's going to identify for us. So let's discuss that in detail in moving forward. And then, so I'm going to mention like, these are the little three. I mean, there are many various techniques, but these are the three famous techniques we generally use for multi-neural network architecture. It's called like ANN, CNN, and RNN, like artificial neural network and conventional neural network and recurrent neural network. So in artificial neural network, this artificial neural can analyze any kind of numeral data, like any numbers, any huge numbers. If you give how much huge number also, it's going to analyze the data and can solve any problems with related to the numbers. When it comes to the conventional neural network, this one will analyzes any images like colors. It identifies the colors, it identifies the shapes and all, and then it will solve the problems for it. And the recurrent neural network, it analyzes the series of data, like any formulas, or else like if you have any videos and all, it's going to analyze the data. So that's coming to the pharmaceutical applications. So currently there are like 43 pharmaceutical companies using in drug discovery. So hope you are all shocked, but this is true. People, I mean, currently people are like filing to the FDA, or else they were already somewhere in the market, they were using for the data collection and everything. So these are the following companies. I just want to give you, I just highlighted some major companies like Bristol Myers, or else like AbbVie, GSK, Gilead, Novo Nordisk, and Pfizer, Sanofi, Takeda, Vixi. These are all the companies currently they're using artificial intelligence. So let's see how these companies is being using in their field. I mean, I'm not going to discuss everything, but few things I just want to mention you that. So here are the few examples. So AI is using historical data and finding new solution. So for this historical data and finding new solution, let me give you an example. Coming to the Human Genome Project. So the Human Genome Project conducted in America, United States of America, from year 1990 to 2003. So it's a 13 years of hard struggle. I think almost 25,000 patients has been like taken from the DNA for testing of this gene, and then they analyze. This is like so much of data available. But what happened to the end of the project? They closed the project. They're unable to use that for anything. It's actually a very big move to the biologists, but this data is just pending. So now what pharmaceutical companies are doing, or else like I can say some examples like the Google, or else like the Intel and all, what they have done with this data means they match the human gene with respect to the matching genes of what of the previous studied data. So in that, for example, you get some diseases based on your genes or you from your forefathers, or you get some diabetes or else like obviously anything. So we can still cure that kind of diseases. Genome, this is called the genome sequence actually. So, and then coming to the next example, AI is like playing a vital role in developing new drugs. Yes, because we can analyze some diseases before it coming to it, and then we can also get the medicine right away. I mean, as soon as possible with the artificial intelligence. I'm going to discuss that in some of the examples. Let's move forward here. So AI can predict diseases previously deemed too difficult to take on, and AI uses clinical data to make sense, and AI helps to find the correct patients for clinical trials. We previously discussed that clinical trials. The reason why I'm mentioning more about the clinical trials, because current situation, if you see the COVID-19, the virus, we have more challenge, right? So all the pharmaceutical companies now currently like working on this virus to create an antiviral drug. So my company is already having a molecule, but it cannot be come into the market right away because we have some process, we have some procedures to follow. So we discovered the medicine and it's working on the virus, but still we need to pass phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We need to submit the data to FDA, and the data should be approved by FDA. So people like it's gonna get like almost years of time to complete from drug discovery to the completion of clinical trials. And to be frank with you, 90% of the filed data is being rejected at clinical trials. This is because not only the product is wrong, the product is right, but however, the clinical persons what we taken to subject this medicine is really a challenging, because people already he is a healthy person. How can we give him a cancer medicine, for example? So this cannot work on him, right? So there will be like only some adverse effects he can tell us, but he cannot like clearly show how the cancer medicine is being like available. That's the reason we have very less medicine for cancer. But however, many companies are working on that based on the artificial intelligence. So let's move forward for some examples here. I'm going to show you some videos. So the first of all, I'm going to show the IBM Watson. So how the IBM Watson going to work? Actually, the cognitive computing is like this. They are using this tool to perform this artificial intelligence. They're building a corpus. So building of corpus is nothing but like gathering all the data, and then they're giving some experts and experts learning to the mission. I mean, teaching to the mission. And based on the voice recognitions and all, the mission is learning by itself. I'm going to show you the video. It's a little long video, 7.5 minutes, but it's worth watching. So please watch, guys.
Rishjan's sound is not coming.
Oh,
Please check.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Give you 1 minute, guys. Can you hear, man?
No. Yeah, you are audible, but not video.
Is at the forefront of a new era of computing, cognitive.
Now it is okay.
It's a radically new kind of computing, very different from the programmable systems that preceded it, as different as those systems were from the tabulating machines of a century ago. Conventional computing solutions, based on mathematical principles that emanate from the 1940s, are programmed based on rules and logic intended to derive mathematically precise answers, often following a rigid decision tree approach. But with today's wealth of big data and the need for more complex, evidence-based decisions, such a rigid approach often breaks or fails to keep up with available information. Cognitive computing enables people to create a profoundly new kind of value, finding answers and insights locked away in volumes of data. Whether we consider a doctor diagnosing a patient, a wealth manager advising a client on their retirement portfolio, or even a chef creating a new recipe, they need new approaches to put into context the volume of information they deal with on a daily basis in order to derive value from it. This process serves to enhance human expertise. Watson and its cognitive capabilities mirror some of the key cognitive elements of human expertise. Systems that reason about problems like a human does. When we as humans seek to understand something and to make a decision, we go through 4 key steps. First, we observe visible phenomena and bodies of evidence. Second, we draw on what we know to interpret what we're seeing, to generate hypotheses about what it means. Third, we evaluate which hypotheses are right or wrong. Finally, we decide, choosing the option that seems best and acting accordingly. Just as humans become experts by going through the process of observation, evaluation, and decision-making, cognitive systems like Watson use similar processes to reason about the information they read. Watson can also do this at massive speed and scale. So how does Watson do it? Unlike conventional approaches to computing, which can only handle neatly organized structured data, such as what is stored in a database, Watson can understand unstructured data, which is 80% of data today. All of the information that is produced primarily by humans for other humans to consume. This includes everything from literature, articles, research reports, to blogs, posts, and tweets. While structured data is governed by well-defined fields that contain well-specified information, Watson relies on natural language, which is governed by rules of grammar, context, and culture. It's implicit, ambiguous, complex, and a challenge to process. While all human language is difficult to parse, certain idioms can be particularly challenging. In English, for instance, we can feel blue because it's raining cats and dogs, while we're filling in a form someone asked us to fill out. When it comes to text, Watson doesn't just look for keyword matches or synonyms like a search engine. It actually reads and interprets text like a person. It does this by breaking down a sentence grammatically, relationally, and structurally, discerning meaning from the semantics of the written material. Watson understands context. This is very different than simple speech recognition, which is how a computer translates human speech into a set of words. Watson tries to understand the real intent of the user's language and uses that understanding to possibly extract logical responses and draw inferences to potential answers through a broad array of linguistic models and algorithms. When Watson goes to work in a particular field, it learns the language, the jargon, and the mode of thought of that domain. Take the term cancer, for instance. There are many different types of cancer, and each type has different symptoms and treatments. However, those symptoms can also be associated with diseases other than cancer. Treatments can have side effects and affect people differently depending on many factors. Watson evaluates standard of care practices and thousands of pages of literature that capture the best science in the field. And from all of that, Watson identifies the therapies that offer the best choices for the doctor to consider in their treatment of the patient. With the guidance of human experts, Watson collects the knowledge required to have literacy in a particular domain, what's called a corpus of knowledge. Collecting a corpus starts with loading the relevant body of literature into Watson. Building the corpus also requires some human intervention to cull through the information and discard anything that is out of date, poorly regarded, or immaterial to the problem domain. We refer to this as curating the content. Next, the data is pre-processed by Watson, building indices and other metadata that make working with that content more efficient. This is known as ingestion. At this time, Watson may also create a knowledge graph to assist in answering more precise questions. Now that Watson has ingested the corpus, it needs to be trained by a human expert to learn how to interpret the information. To learn the best possible responses and acquire the ability to find patterns, Watson partners with experts who train it in using an approach called machine learning. An expert will upload training data into Watson in the form of question-answer pairs that serve as ground truth. This doesn't give Watson explicit answers for every question it will receive, but rather teaches it the linguistic patterns of meaning in the domain. Once Watson has been trained on QA pairs, it continues to learn through ongoing interaction. Interactions between users and Watson are periodically reviewed by experts and fed back into the system to help Watson better interpret information. Likewise, as new information is published, Watson is updated so that it's constantly adapting to shifts in knowledge and linguistic interpretation in any given field. Watson is now ready to respond to questions about highly complex situations and quickly provide a range of potential responses and recommendations that are backed by evidence. It's also prepared to identify new insights or patterns locked away in information. From metallurgists looking for new alloys to researchers looking to develop more effective drugs, human experts are using Watson to uncover new possibilities in data and make better evidence-based decisions. Across all of these different applications, there is a common approach that Watson follows. After identifying parts of speech in a question or inquiry, it generates hypotheses. Watson then looks for evidence to support or refute the hypotheses. It scores each passage based on statistical modeling for each piece of evidence, known as weighted evidence scores. Watson estimates its confidence based on how high the response is rated during evidence scoring and ranking. In essence, Watson is able to run analytics against a body of data to glean insights, which Watson can turn into inspirations, allowing human experts to make better and more informed decisions. Across an organization, Watson scales and democratizes expertise by surfacing accurate responses and answers to an inquiry or question. Watson also accelerates expertise by surfacing a set of possibilities from a large body of data, saving valuable time. Today, Watson is revolutionizing the way we make decisions, become experts, and share expertise in fields as diverse as law, medicine, and even cooking. Further, Watson is discovering and offering answers and patterns we hadn't known existed faster than any person or group of people ever could, in ways that make a material difference every day. Most important of all, Watson learns, adapts, and keeps getting smarter. It actually gains value with age by learning from its interactions with us and from its own successes and failures, just like we do.
I hope you guys watched the IBM Watson, so how they interpret the data and how they teach the machine and everything, right? So I thought this is the best example I can give you for that. Let's move forward. So I'm going to show one more example with Intel. So Intel, like previously we spoke about the genome sequencing. So how Intel is like using the data for the genome sequencing and all. So they were like fighting with the diseases and all. With the genome sequencing, we are able to cure the diseases like cancer and everything. So please watch this example. This is going to be a quick video.
Genomic sequencing is a way to personalize a diagnosis and also a treatment strategy. Whether you have breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, disease is not a one-size-fits-all. It's unique, and the answers are in the DNA. My name is Bryce Olson, and I'm the global strategist for Intel's Health and Life Sciences Group. When people hear me talk, they think that I must be some PhD, and I'm not. I'm just a regular guy whose back was against the wall. You know, I had to figure this out, or otherwise I was going to die. I've been battling metastatic advanced cancer for almost 5 years, yet right now today I have no evidence of active disease. I feel morally obligated to be able to share with people what I did and help them do the same thing that I did. When I got diagnosed, I went through that one-size-fits-all, everybody gets the same treatment paradigm, and it didn't work. So I kind of started to lose hope. But then I learned about genomics through the work that Intel was doing. I called up my pathologist and I just had 2 words for him. I said, sequence me. So when you sequence my normal tissue and look at the normal DNA building blocks of my blood, and then you compare that to the DNA of my tumor, there's some differences. And those differences are what are driving the cancer. The insights that you get out of genomic sequencing are threefold. First is there an FDA-approved drug for my unique driver of disease for my cancer type? The second is there an FDA-approved drug for a different cancer type, but that I share the same genetic drivers for? The third is, are there clinical trials and new drugs that are being developed that are a great fit for what's driving my disease? Those are the three different treatment options that become available to you, and that is all new doors that are above and beyond the standard of care. So Intel's technology underpins the entire genomics-guided precision medicine workflow. We went from a period where it took 10 years and almost $3 billion to sequence the first genome to something today that can be done in a day for $1,000. Really, I mean, today it's for advanced cancer patients, but I think in the future, the moment you get diagnosed with cancer, you'll get genomic sequencing. Today, we're living in this world where we are awash with data. We need companies like Intel that can sift through all this data and find patterns that maybe the human eye doesn't see. And in the case of healthcare, these patterns and new insights can be life-saving. Technologies like artificial intelligence are speeding that up and making it much more efficient and faster and accurate. But the only way they're going to be able to figure it out is if we give more data to the machines to find patterns that don't exist when you look at small amounts of data. The more patients that get genomic sequencing enables more data to be out there for researchers so they can start to create new drugs that would go after mutations that we don't even know how to stop today.
That's right. So hope you understand like how we can save lives. We can target directly the drugs based on the DNA sequencing, like genome sequencing. So we can compare with the actual tissue with the cancer tissue tumor, and then we can incorporate the drug and we can save lives. See how beautiful it is. So he is the great example, like standing before us because he was got cured from the cancer. Now let's go into the other example, which is from the Google, how they can able to identify some disease which is already coming to you. I mean, how you generally forecast the weather. So today the rain is there or not, like today, is there any thunderstorms? Like, is there any like tornadoes and all, how you predict? So likewise, we can predict some diseases which is coming to you. See the beautiful video from our Sundar Pichai.
AI is going to impact many fields. And I want to give you a couple of examples today. Healthcare is one of the most important fields AI is going to transform. Last year, we announced our work on diabetic retinopathy, which is a leading cause of blindness, and we use deep learning to help doctors diagnose it earlier. And we've been running field trials since then at Aravind and Sankara hospitals in India, and the field trials are going really well. We are bringing expert diagnosis to places where trained doctors are scarce. It turned out, using the same retinal scans, there were things which humans quite didn't know to look for, but our AI systems offered more insights. Your same eye scan turns out holds information with which we can predict the 5-year risk of you having an adverse cardiovascular event, heart attack or strokes. So to me, the interesting thing is that, more than what doctors could find in these eye scans, the machine learning systems offered newer insights. This could be the basis for a new non-invasive way to detect cardiovascular risk. And we just published the research, and we are going to be working to bring this to field trials with our partners. Another area where AI can help is to actually help doctors predict medical events. Turns out doctors have a lot of difficult decisions to make, and for them, getting advance notice, say 24 to 48 hours before a patient is likely to get very sick, has a tremendous difference in the outcome. And so we have put our machine learning systems to work. We've been working with our partners using de-identified medical records. And it turns out if you go and analyze over 100,000 data points per patient, more than any single doctor could analyze, we can actually quantitatively predict the chance of readmission 24 to 48 hours before, earlier than traditional methods. It gives doctors more time to act. We are publishing our paper on this later today, and we are looking forward to partnering with hospitals and medical institutions.
So this is from the example from Google, like he has two things. One is like predicting the diseases, and the second one is what like the doctors should know, like before 48 hours, what the patient's gonna be, the records. So based on the records of patient history, they can analyze what's gonna come up in next 48 hours. So that's a great example for our medical pharmaceutical applications as well. And now coming to one more example, we've gone from Nuance. So the Nuance, they completely creating an electronic health records for all the patients, and how they're gonna use. So they're gonna like command all the data from the voice, and then they can keep it as a cloud. I mean, cloud people, you understand, right? So wherever we can just grab the patient's data and can, for example, from last 30 years, I was like in India, and now again, I'm in United States of America. So how do the Americans will know, like when I go to the doctor, how do they come to know that what is my history? What are the previously, like in the childhood, what are the diseases I have, what I'm allergic to, or what medicines I can go through, or else what kind of past medical history I have. So these electronic health records can be shared and can be used whenever you go to the hospital for the better treatment and all. Just see this example from Nuance. This is like all like automatic speech recognitions. So it works with all the cost cuttings and everything. So please watch this video, friends.
Can help. Our AI-powered solutions, services, and virtual assistant capabilities unburden clinicians, radiologists, and care teams, ensuring that every year, more than 300 million patient stories are captured accurately and right the very first time they hit the EHR, and every instance afterwards. Meet Drew, a 16-year-old asthmatic with chronic bronchitis. Like millions of others, his care is an ongoing part of life, and impacted by timely access to his medical information. After suffering from a prolonged cough and fever, Drew's mother contacts his physician, who turns to Nuance's assistive technology to support his care. Dragon, order a azithromycin Z-Pak.
Okay, is this correct?
Yes.
Send prescription to the pharmacy on Main Street.
That's the one.
Order sent to preferred pharmacy.
Dragon, schedule follow-up appointment.
You have openings at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Friday.
Let's go with 9 a.m.
Appointment confirmed.
Dragon, document note. Phone call from patient with fever, productive cough, history of asthma and chronic bronchitis. Flexible and portable, Nuance Solutions follow Drew's physician through care settings and across platforms and devices, from her home to her office. This allows Drew's physician to quickly evaluate and diagnose his worsening condition. Dragon, order oxygen via nasal cannula.
Okay, oxygen ordered.
Dragon, have nurse call ED transport.
Okay, request sent.
Dragon, document history. 16-year-old male with a history of asthma and chronic bronchitis with fever, worsening cough, now with hypoxia, period. Transferring patient to ED for evaluation and treatment and likely. Nuance delivers clinically focused capabilities caregivers rely on. Care teams experience the EHR like never before while maintaining continuity of care for patients like Drew. Temp 38.0 orally, BP 92/56, pulse 110, respiratory rate 20, O2 saturation 92%.
92% on how much oxygen?
4 liters of oxygen via nasal cannula.
Okay.
Dragon, add Z-Pak to home medication list.
Okay.
Dragon, document triage note. 16-year-old male with history of asthma and chronic bronchitis, failed outpatient antibiotics, period. Sent from PCP's office via ambulance, period. AI algorithms help improve the efficiency of disease detection, diagnosis, and treatment. Drew's chest X-ray has been analyzed with apps from the Nuance AI marketplace, and his case prioritized after a potential pneumonia was detected. These unique capabilities, combined with virtual assistants at the point of reporting, help radiologists work more efficiently. Show me abnormal labs and vitals. Did the patient have pneumonia in the past?
Yes, in March of 2017.
Is the patient immunocompromised?
No.
Across the continuum of care and at every moment that contributes to the patient's story, our AI-powered solutions, services, and virtual assistants relieve frustration for so many.
So hope you understand this, guys. So this Nuance is like keeping all the electronic records of all the patients, like whoever like we have. So they're gonna generate into the application and they can use whenever you go into the hospital, or else you can just like from home, you can just say like, doctor, this is my situation. So immediately you can get the response in the same application that, oh, I think you are suffering with so-and-so, so use this medicine and use this one. Then you can like take that medicine. No need to go to the doctor, or else no need to go to the hospitals and wait in appointments and anything like that. So that's a good example from Nuance. I think one more last example, which is like a DeepSix AI. This is also a good artificial intelligence example. Please watch this. This is also like for curing of cancer.
Using artificial intelligence and natural language processing on clinical data, DeepSix AI software significantly cuts patient recruitment delays, getting life-saving cures to patients more quickly. DeepSix AI finds patients for clinical trials in minutes rather than in months. Cedars-Sinai is proud to be working with DeepSix on their exciting studies. DeepSix's ability to go into the electronic medical record, select that information almost instantaneously, and put together a list of 1,000 patients and then drill it down to 30 or 40 for the trial is going to save clinicians here an enormous amount of time. So that's why it's so exciting for us.
Cancer clinical trials is a priority for this institution. Let's focus on that.
One of the great things is we have such a strong relationship with Cedars-Sinai is that every week we get emails or calls of people introducing us to yet another use case.
The future for medicine is big data. DeepSix are looking, using their artificial intelligence systems to create better healthcare through understanding data that's coming from the hospital.
I see where this can be expanded to a lot of other areas, a lot of other domains like cardiology, transplant surgery. I know that transplant surgeons are really excited by what they see and they're just chopping at the bit to get to use it.
Joe Biden has started the Biden Foundation to fight cancer and to continue the work he started on the cancer moonshot. So at South by Southwest, he worked with MD Anderson to handpick 10 companies that the foundation was interested in learning more about. We were very lucky to be in that cohort of 10.
Joe Biden basically said that today, only 4% of cancer patients enroll in clinical trials. And for the moonshot effort to cure cancer to stand a chance, at least 25 to 50% of cancer patients should enroll and participate in clinical trials. So the Joe Biden Foundation intends to work on that, and he was very interested in learning how we could help. We started very focusedly with a product that allows researchers to find patients for trials. The next step is to invert that and actually find trials for patients.
And we're hoping to bring artificial intelligence in a reasonable, practical way into the entire healthcare system and the entire treatment of patients.
So this is from the DeepSix AI. So how they were like generating the artificial intelligence application is to provide a perfect care, perfect patient for performing the clinical trial. So that's the best example from them. Let's go into now the advantages of artificial intelligence, as we have seen like many, what are the advantages, and also here we're going to discuss. So it mainly it cuts cost because the clinical trials, as I mentioned, like it's a span of years, like more than like 3 years, 4 years and all. So we first discover the drug and then we analyze step by step synthetically, and then we coming to the chemical development and then analytical development, and then finally the product we send into the clinical trials and finally it fails. So even though it's like so much of cost, we sometimes fails. So this artificial intelligence can like cut this cost, and like they can discover some new medicines as well, and identifying new drug in less time, that also it can do. And then tracking rare diseases, which we've seen in like Google the example, so which we can like easily identify before any coming diseases and all, and then make the treatment better because of making a personalized medicines through genome sequencing and all. We can better like treat any kind of patient with many of the diseases here. And finally, like we can identify diseases, and then eventually we can identify the medicine with artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence has like lot of advantages here. Like I tabulated like few examples, but it has a lot of potential can do. Many people say like more than advantages, we have disadvantages and all, but I completely believe from the pharmaceutical end, we have like 99% of advantages, only like 1 or 2%, which we're going to discuss it in the next slide in the challenges. So finally, our bottom line is we're going to save humans, we're going to save people. So that is the best thing we can do. Okay, we mix like artificial intelligence and pharmaceutical like medicine, and then we can save lives. That's the best thing. So what are the current challenges? We have like few challenges. For example, errors. Sometimes the mission is not completely right. It's gonna be go little wrong. It can have some errors because however we design any mission, or else however you mimic, it still lacks some little smartness like humans, right? So there might be little errors, but the error percentage is going to be very less when we see the advantages of it. And then availability of data. So many people in India still that doesn't use the electronic version of medical records. We need to do all the data like medically, because in future it's gonna help to many of the people based on your data, because your height, your weight, your metabolic activity, or else your kind of little symptoms you have in the past, it can cure, or else like it can produce some enough medical information to other patients, like how you acted, so they can proceed like that and they can do the medications. So give your data as much as you can. And some people like feel privacy to give the data as well, because many people like, oh, I have this kind of disease, but I don't want to give my medical reports to other, because everyone will come to know that I have so and so diseases and all. So these are like little privacy problems people have. They don't want to share their medical records and all. But I mentioned you like advantages are more, so please don't do that. Be more educated and be more mature to give your electronic data to everywhere. And then what are the future directions we have in the artificial intelligence? So here I'm going to discuss about three major distinct technology predicts the artificial intelligence future. One is like remote patient monitoring, cloud computing, as we seen in the nuance and all. So we have completely the electronic records and then the cloud. So wherever we can, we work. And just like now, for example, in iPhone, we have the iCloud and all, right? Even though if you lose your iPhone, you can just buy another iPhone, and then you can, if you sign in, you can cloud in all your contacts, your photos, your applications, and your emails and everything. So the same wise, if you have the clouding of your medical data, we can check whatever the health predictions you're gonna get in next 2-3 days, or else like in 5 months, anything. The artificial intelligence can able to detect those kind of things based on your medical information. Now coming to the big data analysis, like we lack of some people. For example, we need some people who really can teach the missions, like who understands and teach the mission. So we are little lack. So if you able to get this all the big data into a one system, this is gonna be a big breakthrough into the future of this artificial intelligence. And finally, this is the best thing I want to mention you, that this is the Silico trials. So Silico is nothing but this is a completely artificial intelligence application, which already IBM Watson is working on this. So the clinical trials will not be performed on any human beings. It's completely on the supercomputers. So the supercomputer gonna analyze the drug like how the human body does. It like metabolism, it like the drug adherence, everything. It's gonna show that, and it's gonna show like what is the optimum, like what is the model human bodies and how it's gonna like act. I think from last 3.5 years, 4 years, the IBM Watson is working on that. But still moving forward, that's gonna be big breakthrough, because if this gonna pass, the drugs, whatever, like for example, this kind of viruses and all come into the world also, we can immediately release the medicines and we can make them cure. So that's a big breakthrough. And these are my references I used to gather this all the informations. So I'm, as I previously mentioned, that I didn't like completely work on this artificial intelligence and all. I got this all information from internet, and then it finds so interesting to me. So I just want to present to you all guys. So thank you so much for listening to my presentations. So if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to ask me.
Thank you, Suresh Jan, for your excellent and impressive session. Yeah, today our speaker has given a general overview of AI, common types of AI as traditional and advanced, then fundamentals, machine learning and deep learning, and then explain various pharmaceutical applications by taking examples, videos from IBM Watson, Intel, Google, then Nuance, and then he explained about various advantages of AI and current challenges, like few risks which include data availability, privacy concern, and then he also explained future directions. So, Mr. Suresh Jan, you selected the most up-to-date scientific technology and clinical information and presented it in a way that will engage all the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I want to thank you, Ramaya, and the Hindu College of Pharmacy Management and the principal and everyone for giving me this great opportunity. This is a little gratitude I want to show to my college, and I'll be like always available for my college. So you can like reach me whenever you want. I'll be always available. So thanks again. Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, definitely. We'll meet you again. I hope this session enlightened all the participants with the basic concepts of AI and its applications. Now we'll move on to question and answer session. Now I request Mrs. Srividya, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, to proceed with questions in Zoom chat box.
Thank you, Madam. This is Srividya, Assistant Professor, Department of the Pharmaceutic, Hindu College of Pharmacy. I would like to express my special thanks of gratitude to the speaker, Dr. Suresh Jan Kandavalli, sir, for delivering such a wonderful and information lecture on artificial intelligence. Sir, with your permission, I will start the questionnaire session.
Yeah, sure.
Firstly, I request the participants to come forward for the questionnaire. If anyone having questions or doubts regarding the session, you can please raise your hand so that you can ask the speaker directly. Our technical team will give you the access. Participants, I request the participants to ask the questions.
Hello.
Sridhar, please unmute persons who have raised a hand.
Yes, madam, I am ready. Mohan Gandhi is online.
Yes. Good morning, sir. Hi, sir. This is Mohan Gandhi from Vasavi Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Hope you remember me. I'm your junior in Vishnu College of Pharmacy.
Yeah, hi Gandhi, I remember you.
Yeah, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Very good, sir. Very good, sir. The topic is very new and pretty interesting. The way you delivered the presentation with some good videos is very good. I have few questions, sir. I don't know whether I can ask those questions or whether I'm limited only to one question. I don't know that. So let me go with the question. The first question is,
No worry, you can ask any number of questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. The first one is from the presentation you have mentioned that we need to have some background with mathematics, algorithm, programming, etc., etc. We have a section of people or the students who are not having the access to these things. Like the students, majority of our students hail from rural background. How we can bridge the gap between them? Like how can we make them cope up with these standards?
Good question. So it's a very simple answer gonna be. For example, even though you don't know the algorithms, or else even though you don't know the tan theta, sin theta, or else like the mathematical equations and all, we always use a scientific calculator, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so what is your input in the scientific calculator and what's going to be the output? So the scientific calculator will calculate it for you. Okay, so all you need to provide is your information, whatever you have, and it's going to give its output. The same way for any applications, even though you doesn't know any mathematical data, from your science perspective of you, for example, if I'm doing a clinical trials, or else if I'm making some trial and error methods in any analysis, or else any testing like assay testing, or else like dissolutions or anything and all, you can give your data. It will create its own mathematical calculations, and it will give you the final result that this is pass, or else this is fail, or else we have the same kind of past data which has like some serious discussion needed, something like that. So you no need to really worry about the mathematics and all. Altogether, see that we are bringing the technology into the pharmaceutical field because to make our life easier, because we can't store or save so much of data in our brains, right? So we use the technology to analyze the data, to read the data, and to interpret the data and like give some output to us. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. And my second question is, in countries like India, where there is a lot of gap between doctors and patients, the ratio is very high. So can artificial intelligence fill the gap? Like you have mentioned applications like Nuance. If it is so, don't you think it would be a threat to medical or paramedical employability?
Oh, that's a good question. So let's discuss about that. So coming to the smartphones, okay, when like I started like in year 2005 and 2006 and all, the cellular phone is there, but however, we doesn't have any smartphones and all. And people used to say, if I give to my father or else if you give to my mother and all this, they used to say that, oh, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to operate this particular smartphone and all. But now they're able to handle all the kind of things. They're making me video calls. They were like chatting. They were like doing. So the technology, whatever like we are intaking, it's never gonna disturb. I mean, like it never gonna change immediately. But eventually, we need to make everything electronic, like the medical records, whatever we're generating in India and all. Basically, we need electronic. I think it's gonna come up very soon because whenever some applications like AI applications, whenever you enter into the market, I think it's gonna change that revolution because you see, initially the iPhone was like launched only in United States of America, but eventually now in India also many people are using. Okay, so whatever it comes like electronically, I think even though it's like very slow in India, I think it's gonna catch up very fast in the future generation.
What about the employability, sir? Will it cause any damage to the current employees?
Okay, so that's a beautiful question. So, for example, okay, when we are in childhoods, okay, we used to travel. I mean, when I'm in childhood, I used to travel in rickshaw. I started traveling in rickshaw and all, and then now there is no rickshaws and all in India. All where we can like autos or else like the cabs. And now the Uber came in, and most of the autos also like gone. There are like only like all the cabs and all. So what happened to the people? You think that people like really lost their jobs and they were like sitting in the home? No, right? So they were learning, they were like updating. So the pharma field is always like the updates. It's like it's not anything like static. The technology or else the current situation is never a static. It's a dynamic process. So in the dynamic process, you will never feel that we are losing jobs or else like we cannot absorb in that. So the reason for this presentation also, the main objective is that to make you all aware that the technology gonna take you away. So you need to keep updated about that.
Thank you, sir. And the last question. Most of your examples are related to clinical trials, like genomics, etc., etc. Can you give some light on manufacturing or analysis where we can use artificial intelligence?
Yeah, sure. That's a good one. So I want to mention that, but I forgot to mention in my presentation. The reason why I mentioned, because many companies currently filed, they were like in the development. So they were in little confidential. So they don't want us to share this data. That's why I didn't present that data. I only shared the data which is already available in the internet and everything. So there were like, as you mentioned, yes, for the drug delivery or else like analysis and then like manufacturing. Yeah, we have some artificial intelligence. For example, now the company called Compact, previously we used to manufacture one sterile injection in like almost 1 acre of place. But now in your same bathroom is there, right? In the same size of bathroom, we can manufacture the same kind of quality of product. The company Compact is working on that. So there are like some examples, but these are like little confidential. That's why I didn't want to share, because this is an international seminar. I just want to keep it like so private.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your answer. Thank you.
No problem, Gandhi.
Sir, some more questions from the participants, sir.
Sure.
Is there any danger of artificial?
Vidya, someone raised hand. Let them ask first.
Okay. Okay.
Pavani, madam. Pavani is online.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Pavani.
Good morning, sir. I am Pavani of Vishwanatha Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences.
Hi, Pavani.
Sir, yes, sir. I know well about nanorobots, which we can use to insert in our body to treat some diseases. Diseases is nanorobots comes under the class of artificial intelligence.
Yes. The nanotechnology also comes under as artificial intelligence. Yes, right.
Sir, as we are inserting that in our body, if the artificial intelligence goes wrong, is there any adverse effects of it?
To be frank with you, I have not done research on that. I completely cannot provide any information on that. But basically, we do those kind of all the trials in the clinical study. So we will perform the n number of adverse effects, and then we perform to the multiple patients. We use some statistical tools to analyze that, and then finally we gonna say that this is safe and this is potent and this is like pure to all the human beings. Then only it will come into the market. So right now, none of the products that can really harm to the humans is not there. So eventually we're gonna fix everything, whatever like we feel it's not good for humans.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Either one more person is there.
Yes, madam. He's Ali, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ali.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the fundamentals in AI. As you have told that artificial intelligence, machine learning, and afterwards deep learning.
Yeah.
Through that, when we are like educating or when the machine is learning, does it not mean that artificial intelligence is automatically developing its own pattern, like a deep learning itself, or if there is any other way of incorporating that deep learning?
Okay, very good question. So the question is like, what is the like tools? I mean, the fundamentals like the machine learning and the deep learning. What is, we have the two different layers. So the word itself. So initially, the word itself, like first you give the instruction to the machine. So the instruction is going to be straightforward, like the any image, or else like any object, or else like any color, or else like any pattern. So it's going to be one way of memory. So you ask it, you give it. So we do that, right, many times. So we ask it, we give it. But coming to the deep learning, we need multiple. So when we want to, like, I showing you some examples, right? Like from the Google or else the neuron. So we need some deep learning that multiple neurons will work out and will provide you the final output. That is the subset in the machine learning. So these all phases some artificial intelligence can go. The normal machine learning we see is like your video games or else like some Apple Siri and all. These are all this just normal machine learning. But if you want to make some self-driving car, or else if you want to make some automated hospitalized robotics system and all, we need very deep learning because it should understand what the skin nature, it should understand the blood flow, it should understand the heart rate, it should understand the patient body nature and everything, right? So that's why we say it's a multiple neural design, like we call it as an architecture.
So it means that in a way that AI itself is learning back from the ML through a different series.
Exactly.
Thank you for the clarification.
Hello. Madam, one more participant is online, Manasa.
Yeah. Okay.
Naga Manasa.
Good morning, sir. My name is Mansa from Hindu College of Pharmacy. Yes, sir. Is there any drug identified by AE for treating COVID-19?
No. So the reason I took most of the software companies examples, because now the software as companies has developed these AI applications. So now they are readily available. But coming to the pharmaceutical companies, we are little behind that because the technology they implemented. Now it's our time to act, to buy that application and you to use that applications. So currently we don't have much pharmaceutical data regarding to the drug discovery and then drug delivery, but currently some trials are going, some development phase is going on. If I get a chance, I'm going to load some of the examples in the following YouTube content, so you can verify later.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Surachandra. Hello.
Sir, I have a question that I'm a second year M.Pharm student in Naipur, Hyderabad.
Oh, good.
So after watching after watching this valuable session today, the physicians, I saw the physicians utilizing this artificial intelligence in treating or diagnosing the future disorders, and the other means human genome project. These all are very high end. And as a pharma student, how can what can I do with the artificial intelligence? Means as a healthcare professional, how can I enrich my knowledge in this in this artificial intelligence? On how what is my approaches in the future?
Okay, it's a very good question. Whatever you ask, like how the pharma is gonna have their role in this artificial intelligence. Okay, so the answer is, so now we all become the teachers to the artificial intelligence. For example, tomorrow you want to work with some artificial intelligence, like a development. You want to develop an app application in the artificial intelligence. So you should be thorough enough with some subject, like for example, whatever field you are, either in analytical or else in the manufacturing or else in the clinical or else in development of any drugs and all, you teach the mission. So that's gonna be your job. Then it's gonna act accordingly and it will provide, analyze the data and it will give you some results. So the major responsibility as like you will be a data scientist. So you will be the future scientist to teach the machine. You will make them learn.
So, sir, we have any special program? For example, artificial intelligence have money applications in various fields. So, in the case of health field, as a healthcare professional, like a pharma student, how can I go through this area? I mean, so for suppose you said like that, designing any application or teaching teaching the physicians in aspect of any particular disease. So I have to learn deep software about this artificial intelligence and making the link between my healthcare knowledge and the software, sir.
Okay, so what are the examples I have given to you? Like what are the information I shared to you? It's not only single man job. It's a big company. It's a multiple people, multiple departments. So if you see in a pharmaceutical industry, we have multiple departments, right? So one is like chemical development, one is analytical development, one is formulation development, another one is regulatory affairs, and then coming to biologics. So we have multiple difference, and finally we give the product to the manufacturing. So manufacturing will make the medicine, and then they will give the medicine to the market. So this is a multiple people. So it's not a single person job. This is like multiple functions. So these all mix up only can make one application into a final provided data. For example, the Bayer is there. So Bayer is using some artificial intelligence. It's called SIP. So it can analyze the heart attacks prior to any patients coming like 3 hours, 4 hours before also. So it analyzes in such a way that it's not only like with single supporting application. Again, it has multi-neural networks which are related, I mean, connected each other. But however, the message is going to reach to final patient that you need to come and join in hospital because your symptoms is like that, or else this is the time you need to take so and so medicine because you are like very close to that. So those are the applications which like make with a number of effort. It's not single person jobs. Hope I answer your question.
Sir, so if I choose my career in artificial intelligence as a healthcare professional, what is my next job to do to forward my career in this aspect?
Yeah, if you are interested in this, so for example, if you have a master's or else if you have a bachelor's degree right now, we have some artificial intelligence courses. So we need to start from basics. However, we doesn't have completely on pharmaceutical artificial intelligence. We have like other field artificial intelligence. So you will learn the basics from there. And if you want to work, you can definitely work in the future. So not right now, but eventually, I think maybe Hindu College of Pharmacy also might come a new course called artificial intelligence. Like they're gonna have a different, like how we have like M.Pharm for Sutix, M.Pharm for, so we definitely have M.Pharm for artificial intelligence as well, because it's a very lot of subject, but it's growing up right now more into the software field rather than pharmaceutical field. We are a little behind, but you're gonna see very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, Vidya, you can proceed now.
Madam. Another question from the participant, sir. Is the telepharmacy and NANS are same or any difference between them?
Vijay, if you don't mind, can you please repeat the question?
Okay, sir. Is the telepharmacy and NANS are same? What is the difference between them?
I mean,
Telepharmacy and nuance are they same?
I mean, I think telepharmacies and all will not come into the artificial intelligence. But however, any records created electronically can be used by artificial intelligence.
Another question, sir. Is there any danger of artificial intelligence in making wrong decisions?
I mean, we currently know that there are many medical errors going right now, or else like the past and all. We have some medical errors, but with artificial intelligence, we can reduce that errors. It's not going to be more. I'm going to sure about that. But however, yes, as I explained in the challenges, there are a few risks, right? So there might be, because the machines are not smart enough like human, but definitely we're going to reduce the deaths because of lack of medicines, or also because of lack of precautions and everything.
Another question, sir. Is it possible doing clinical trials without humans, without involving any human?
Yeah, so I shown in the future of artificial intelligence, right? In that particular slide, I mentioned that Silicos, the company called IBM and Watson, they were like on this project from last 4 years. So without humans, they are performing the clinical trials on the supercomputer. Yes.
Okay, sir, that's all questions from the participants, sir. Most of the participants, they had given the good response, like it's very informative and a very nice session, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Srividya. Now I request Mrs. Srireka, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, to proceed with questions in YouTube chat box.
Hi, sir. This is Srireka.
Hi, Srireka.
This is Srireka from the Assistant Professor from the Department of Pharmaceutics, sir. So we have some more questions from the YouTube listeners. So one thing that is, one question from the participant, that is, today the world is suffering from a pandemic disease, that is a COVID-19. In such a situation, this artificial intelligence is at what level or in what aspects it is helpful for the healthcare professionals? In what aspects it is helpful for the healthcare professionals?
Yeah, so the best question, like I can say that, because yeah, let's see the current situation, the COVID-19, right? So as I mentioned you earlier, that why it is getting delayed, because my company, we are manufacturing remdesivir, okay, but we cannot immediately come into the market. We have the submission to the FDA for the, and then we need to pass the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 clinical trials and all. So this is a lengthy process, because we need to find the right human beings and we need to subject them. So it's a very almost 6 months to 7 months of study and all. And then we find the data, and then we submit again to FDA, and FDA has to approve that, and then it will come into the market. So as it's a lengthy process, that's why the medicine, even though it's available with pharmaceutical industries, it's unable to reach into the market. So this artificial intelligence, if it comes into our hands, like into the pharmaceutical field, as you see in the previous video from DeepSeek, this medicine previously used to take years, it's going to take only days. Within 1 hour, we can identify all the patients, like all the people for clinical trials, and we can perform the clinical trials, and the data also can be analyzed so quickly. And then, so instead of taking a year, within a month, we can release a drug. Within week, we can release a drug. There is a possibility.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And one more question, that is, this artificial intelligence is how it is helpful for the patient who are in emergency. So how it is helpful for the patient who are in emergency?
I mean, if the patient currently is in emergency, I don't know how it is helpful. But if, for example, any patient, like that's what I mentioned in some applications and all. So if you feel like inconvenience and if your health rate or else like your diseases or something getting worse, you can, with this artificial intelligence, you can immediately leave a message. For example, now you see the COVID medicine, I mean the COVID. So if I was affected with COVID virus, so I will not go to the hospital. I'll just call the hospital so that the hospital people will come and will test me here itself. So likewise, in an artificial intelligence, if you use that electronic voice and if you send a message, the hospital, like immediately they'll come with your ambulances and all, they'll take immediately so that they can save your lives. They can predict heart diseases. They can predict like cardiovascular diseases. They can predict like brain related diseases and all. So we'll make sure like save the people before going into the emergency or else like before like getting into the situation. So it will be really helpful.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, thank you for your patience in for answering all the questions. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Hand over to the convener, Sita Devi, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Sri Rekha. Now I request our founder secretary, later chairman, present honorary chairman, moreover renowned diabetologist, retired professor of Guntur Medical College and present PCA member, Dr. Manav Radha Krishnamurthy Garu, to express his views on the webinar.
Good afternoon to everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. At the outset, I should be very much thankful to Dr. Suresh John. And also I am feeling proud of his webinar message, an excellent message given to Zoom by Hindu College of Pharmacy, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences. And Suresh John, you are a former student of our college. I feel so proud and happy to hear such a wonderful lecture from you and a wonderful information you have given on artificial intelligence. Before I state some more words, I want to ask you only one question.
Yes, sir.
Whatever that is discovered, whatever that has been found so far, the human brain is a lot of disturbance are there. The human brain is superior to anything else. The same human brain has created the artificial intelligence. And actually, we are getting so much of data from artificial intelligence for development of many categories of the human life. By speaking, by voice, by industry, by whatever that means. And what actually is the main difference you feel between human brain and the artificial intelligence?
Yes, sir. It's a very good question. So I can relate to the movie, whatever you're saying. So even though the human brain created artificial intelligence, how it can overcome the human smartness. So the answer is obviously because as Einstein mentioned that our human brain is like 100%, but we are like using only 1%. Okay. So we are not capable to store more data. So even though our computers and all like having store more data, how they can analyze from the data. For example, from the movie Robo, the patient says that when a pregnant woman go into the hospital and it is like very critical condition, okay, the Robo Rajnikant says that there is an answer in the medical records, which already there are doctors unable to solve that. But the Robo, from his intellectual, it able to grab that particular information from the book knowledge and can able to apply that. So the artificial intelligence is not overseeing any human beings. it's just providing some good path to save the lives. As a pharmaceutical guy, our bottom line is to like save the humans. So I think it's fulfilling its requirements.
Okay. Good answer which I have got. And whatever it is, there is a little bit difference between the human brain and the artificial intelligence. Human brain is having its own limitations also, because with the advance of age, there is naturally a decaying process there. And forgetfulness, memory loss, all these things. Whereas artificial intelligence has a big store, which is having unfathomable unfathomable depth of knowledge stored in that, so that can be retrieved whenever that is necessary. There is some difference between the two. That's what I felt. And in your questions and answers, one question asked about the gap between a doctor in India, that's very high. Whether artificial intelligence can fill up the gap. I think that's not possible, because even though there is a lot of artificial intelligence, we now come across the telemedicine and teleconsultation. Even in that, there are so many deficiencies are there. Unless a doctor examines the person, be examined by him by way of some palpation, by way of seeing the patient, his behavior, the appearance, all these things are intelligence, and by analysis it may give few diagnoses, but still a brain of human being is something different, and who perceive or between the doctor-patient ratio. Doctor should be there, but a doctor should have a personal touch with a physician to come to an accurate diagnosis. That's what I felt.
True, sir. I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay. Now, at the outset, I can be very much thankful to you, Suresh John. Some obligation also for of this college. I felt so happy to hear such an analytical lecture and gave so many good answers for so many good questions, and all the participants. And also at the same time, I should congratulate the Department of Pharmaceutics to have thought of such a and I got ample experience, and it's better to have such interactions in future also. Thank you very much, Madam. Dr. Sunita Devi, Dr. Sita Devi, Dr. Sunita, and especially Dr. Ramaya, and also of our college, Mr. Sridhar. I should acknowledge with thanks to all of you, and also Govindarajan. Above all, the management, Jupudi Rangaraju and Dr. Masuhan Rao, who has given so much of cooperation, coordination with all these things. I must be thankful to you and giving me the opportunity to tell few words at the last. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, small announcement to the participants. Feedback link is provided in the Zoom and YouTube chat box, as well as YouTube description box also. Please fill it. We will send our certificates to your registered email IDs within 10 days. Then, yeah, now we come to an end of the session. So before that, Mr. Suresh John, please, as a token of appreciation, yeah, we are releasing your e-certificate. Please accept this.
Yeah, madam. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. Madhusudan sir is online.
Okay. Yeah. Sir, now I request our Honorable Secretary and Correspondent, Dr. S. Madhusudan Rao Garu, a man of distinct vision, an idol of knowledge, an efficient physician, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Dr. Suresh, I am presently Secretary and Correspondent of this college. It's a wonderful session. Do you have still time and patience to listen to all of us?
I do.
Okay then. It's a wonderful lecture. Most intelligent lecture on artificial intelligence. Because you are yourself telling that you have collected all the data from net. And so wonderfully presented lecture I have ever seen and listened to. Right from fundamentals to even latest developments and experiments that bigger companies like Google and IBM and Intel are doing. In fact, I was discussing with our professors like Dr. Nagabhushanam and Dr. Sunita and principal, everybody, to start 1-year courses and 6-month diploma courses in our college, especially in artificial intelligence. Only 2 days back, I have just delved over this matter. And you have very appropriately said that this is a growing science and it has a lot of future and development. Our guru, Dr. Briz Kishore sir, whom probably you might not be knowing, told us long ago, some 4 to 5 years back, that the future is for artificial intelligence and things like big data, cloud computing, and machine learning, etc. Probably we could not cope up with the advances that he has suggested, but we are very serious and keen to develop all these things in our college with the assistance of people like you. As you already promised your assistance and help to your alma mater, we'll definitely take your advice and your help also now and then see that our students go out with a portfolio, career portfolio, enriched portfolio with all these courses like this, along with their degrees. So I think I have talked sufficiently. And thank you very much. And we are proud, just as our honorary chairman was telling, being a old student or alumnus of our college, I feel really gratified by that feeling. Thank you so much, Suresh.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the great vision you have.
Oh, sir, it's a combined collective vision. It's a teamwork, rather. And I appreciate Sita Devi for giving a very good introductory message to all the people, and then the team Sita Devi and the team Ramaya for doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our OSJ and PharmD Director, Sri Sita Ramaya Garu, to address the gathering.
Hello. Thank you, madam. Good morning, my dear viewers. I'm happy to listen to me, Dr. Suresh, who has spoken about artificial intelligence. Well, thank you, Dr. Suresh. You have spoken about the importance of artificial intelligence. Well, it has got a role in the drug discovery, drug management, and manufacturing, analysis, clinical pharmacy, diagnosis of various diseases and treatment. So very important topic. Already some of the central universities and private autonomous institutions have started advertising for this course, as our management also are planning. So thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful lecture on artificial intelligence. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine, man. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our Vice Principal, Dr. A. Sunita, to express her views.
Yeah.
Mr. Suresh Jan, very happy to attend this session as a guru. And I'm really proud of you. Still, I remember you as a very good dancer apart from the academics. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. It's really informative to all the students, and students have shown a very much interest to clarify their doubts also. So one thing that I want to stress, which I have impressed really, irrespective of our specialization, if really the people which plays a key role in the current scenario. So you are the best example for the audience that let them to think. Generally, we may feel that artificial intelligence is related to only software engineers and all, but instead of that, there is a path. You have given some advices, so we can also enter into this area and relate it to the pharmaceutical sector. So very happy, Suresh Jan, that you have accepted and you have addressed the gathering today. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine, ma'am. Pleasure is mine.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, now we come to an end of the session. It's time for vote of thanks. First and foremost, we are grateful to Mr. Suresh Jan for your time and effort you took and share your thoughts and experiences with us in our busy schedule. The participants who attended really enjoyed your presentation and sent so many appreciation messages. The subject intrigues me and many of the participants and will plan to learn more. Thank you very much. I also wish to express my gratitude to our chairman, Sri Jugudi Rangaraj Garu, and secretary and correspondent, Sri Matsudan Rao, Dr. Matsudan Rao Garu, and our honorary chairman, Dr. Mano Radhakrishnamoorthy Garu, for their presence, blessings, valuable support, and encouragement in organizing this event. I thank our principal and vice principal for their constant and bountiful support at every point of time. I owe special thanks to Dr. Ramaya, Secretary, Hitchcock Alumni Association, for his tremendous and timely support. I want to thank my department colleagues for lending helping hands. I am thankful to the technical staff who have responded timely to ensure that this occasion is successful. I extend my thanks to heads of departments, of various departments, for their contribution and support. Most importantly, I take this opportunity to extend our most sincere thanks to all the participants from various destinations for showing keen interest and active participation and making this event a grand success. Thank you one and all. Hereby the meeting ends. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Suresh.
हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे